Hello and welcome, my name is Evan Budson and this is a Premiere Pro CS5 QuickTip. We're going to have a look at the Adobe Mercury Playback Engine today, and this is just a very quick run through of how it accelerates even standard definition or just very basic editing. Now just a quick little tech run through. The machine I'm running this on is a 13-inch MacBook Pro, so it's a fairly low level system. If I go ahead to my About This Mac here, you'll see it's only a 2.26 Core 2 Duo with 4 gig of RAM running on the built-in 5200 RPM hard drive, so a fairly low level system. However, even this kind of system can really benefit from the Mercury Playback Engine. If you go ahead and look at the general settings for this machine, you'll see that because I'm running a laptop and I don't have any NVIDIA hardware in it, I can only use the Mercury Playback Engine in software only mode. However, if I was using a tower, either a Mac Pro tower or a PC, and running either a Quadro 4800 or a GeForce GTX 285, I would also get additional hardware acceleration on top of the software acceleration as well. Even though I'm running a fairly low-end system, you'll see I can really make use of this acceleration with the Playback Engine. I'm just going to go ahead, I've got some standard definition DV material here, and I'm just going to use the shortcut to create a new sequence, and let's make this sequence a bit bigger so we can actually see it. And let's also get rid of some of these audio tracks, because a Mercury Playback Engine does not accelerate audio, so we're not really caring about it at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead, I've got two pieces of footage here, so I'm going to press play. Riveting. Funnily enough, the laptop that can play back standard definition DV is not that interesting. Where it starts to get interesting though is when I start to layer it up. So I'm going to go ahead and find my effects palette, which is over here. Let's drag and drop this over here, just so that I've got a bit more room. And I'm going to go ahead and make a picture-in-picture. So let's go and make this 33%. There we are. Actually, let's make it a bit bigger, just so we can actually see it. And I'm going to manually pop it up in the top left-hand corner. And you see I get a red line because this is now a non-real-time effect. I'm going to press play. And you see, funnily enough, I still get real-time. So I'm getting a real-time picture-in-picture on a MacBook 13-inch. Still not incredibly exciting, so let's go ahead and grab another shot. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that on top here as well. Let's just trim this up so it's roughly the same length. Go ahead to my effects panel. Once again, let's scale this one down, and we'll pop him in the bottom left-hand corner. Press play again, and I'm getting real-time playback of 3 streams of material. Now, keeping in mind, we're probably going to hit the limitations of the laptop's hard drive, which is a 5400 RPM hard drive, before we hit the limitation of the CPU at this stage with the Mercury engine. Going to go ahead and throw in another track, and then for this one, once again, let's go ahead and scale this shot down, and let's pop this one over in the right-hand side. Press play. And I'm still getting full 25 frames per second. I'm probably just every once in a while I'm losing a frame or two, but I'm still getting very nice playback. That's probably because of the hard drive, not the CPU. Let's go ahead and put one more track on just for fun. And adjust my effects controls. And that's actually the same shot again. So hopefully that won't be taxing the hard drive in any respect. And press play. And there we get our real-time playback as well. Yeah, we're starting to lose a few frames, probably because of the hard drive. So as you can see, on a very low laptop, a lowly spec'd laptop, I'm already getting incredibly good performance. If I wanted to, considering the size of the screen I'm viewing on, I could actually set the playback resolution. I've actually got it set to half. If I wanted to set that to full resolution, I could. I'm not really going to gain any benefit. You'll see that it will probably, it's still getting close to 25 frames per second, but one of the benefits is if I wanted to, I could go ahead and set this to 100%. You see, even though, and I'll just set this to actually play back in a loop so I don't have to keep on starting it and stopping it. There we are, off she goes. As it's playing, I'm able to adjust the size of the preview window, and that's not affecting the Mercury Playback Engine. I will set that back to half resolution though, because I'm really going to really push the Mercury Engine just one more little bit further, and I'm just going to go ahead and get some footage to do a Chroma Key. So I'm just going to go back a few steps in my folder here, and I think that should do it. There we are. Got some green screen footage here. Going to go across to my effects palette and do a search for Ultra. Now once again you'll see a lot of effects have this little icon here, which is the accelerated effects icon. What that means is if you have hardware such as the Quadro 4800 or a GeForce GTX 285, they will accelerate these effects, and there's a lot of them. If I wanted to, I can turn that button on, turn off my search, and turn that button on. It'll show me all the effects that are available as hardware acceleration. You know, you've got all of your grading, you've got your Gaussian blur, you've got three-way color corrector, garbage mats, the Ultra Keyer, 3D, time code, and so on and so forth. You'll see they're grayed out because my laptop hasn't got any hardware acceleration. But if I did have a desktop with that, that would speed things up noticeably. I'm just going to go ahead and press select Ultra though, and drag and drop that onto my timeline. And let's just very quickly set up an Ultra Key. This is not about keying, so I won't put too much into it. I will go and clean up that mat a little. If you look at the alpha channel, it is a little narky. So let's go ahead and I'll just go back to my alpha mode and just dial that back a bit, like so. And you'll see we also have some crew. I'll just set this to fit so we can actually see everything. We've got some crew on either side of the shot here, so I'm going to want to get rid of them as well. So let's go and choose the garbage mat, which is also a hardware accelerated effect. The 8-point garbage mat should do the trick quite nicely. So I'm just going to go to 25%. That should give me enough room so I can see the handles for the garbage mat. And let's choose my garbage mat, and now I can just lasso out anything I don't want in shot, including the unwanted crew and that boom pole as well. So now make sure my playback resolution is set to half because of this laptop. Press play and you'll see I still get a fairly decent playback speed. It starts to choke a little by the end of it. But still, I get a fairly decent playback considering I'm running 5 layers of 6 layers of video, 4 of which have a picture-in-picture effect, 1 has a Chroma Key and a garbage mat effect on it, and I'm still getting fairly good playback on a fairly lowly laptop. And to be honest, it is actually the hard disk that is probably saturating before the CPU saturates. But you can see the Mercury Playback Engine really does allow you to really make use of all of the hardware that you've got available to you. Throw in something like a Quadro or a GeForce 285 and you get massive acceleration, multiple layers of real time, the ability to play back high def material and run filters and effects on high def material in real time, as well as run it out full screen out through the secondary port, so you get a full screen monitor via DVI or HDMI, means that you really have the ability to edit pretty much any format under the sun in real time, as well as edit rather than just playback. You can actually do things, creative things like cross dissolves and so on, that you normally can't do without having to render. So hopefully you found that useful. By all means, keep an eye on my website. I'll have a lot more of these quick tips in the coming weeks. Additionally, I'll also have some links coming up to some Adobe Connect sessions that will be coming up in the not too distant future, where we'll go through a lot of these features in a lot more detail. Otherwise, thank you very much, and hopefully you found that useful. By all means, keep an eye on my website, where I will have a lot more of these quick tips coming up in the coming weeks, as well as I'll also have some links to some Adobe Connect sessions that I will be doing in the not too distant future, where we will be going through a lot of these features in a lot more detail.